Hi, everybody.
I think that my faith kind of took over, and my faith now is the main driver in my life than the social programming. So I'm not worried too much. Like I said, if I have a moment of depression or anxiety, I prayed and I feel better about that.
Wow,
After that,
that's amazing. Um, what would you say to people who are just starting out on the spiritual path? You know, you've been on it for a while. What would you say to young people?
yeah. So first of all, I don't want to just say, yeah. I think we've all have started on the spiritual path at some level, and maybe even since birth. But as I said earlier, I think for me. I realized it was always there, but I was not aware of it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the same goes for you, for all the young people out there, because it may take a while before you realize it, but we've all have started a spiritual path, since birth. Um, my thing is, I would start by saying, start listening to yourself, to your heart, to your intuition. Your intuition, somebody told me once, is like God or your angel speaking to you through microphone, but you cannot see them, you cannot touch them, but whatever they are saying is being converted to thoughts. So that's why when your intuition say don't do this, don't do this, whatever. Of course, you have thoughts of fear as well. Fear can can mess you up, meaning can make you think, oh well, you should not do this, and then you think, oh, maybe my intuition. No, no, no. So as you get older, you need to separate, fear from your intuition, because most of the time, fear will 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 try to disempower you, versus your intuition wants to empower you. Your intuition will guide you and direct you and inspire you to do things that probably you would not want to do, or you would not try to do, or you would have never wanted to do, but you're just saying, you know what, I think you can do it, you should, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that voice is trying to kind of help you to grow. So try to follow that voice, to listen to that voice, that really helps, that, as you should know, because you all of us should be in good, in tune with ourselves, to know that that voice, wants us to do good, or wants us to grow, wants to challenge ourselves, but not to destroy ourselves. While fear doesn't want you to grow. Fear wants you to stay afraid for the rest of your life. And again, for example, had I listened to fear, I would not have been in California. But I listened to my intuition, said, come. And of course, when I was leaving, I had to give up everything, go through whatever, saying goodbyes and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It was painful. I was afraid, but I still came because my intuition was taking the lead. Said, if you need to be at Columbia, you need to meet Tom, you need to meet all the other people. And that's what I listened, and that's why I'm here. I didn't listen to my fear, but my fear did talk as well. My fear said, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. So.
Wow. Another point that I really like that when we talk is like you always say it's not about me. Like my life is not about me, and I think when you were talking about fear, that's one reason why people feel so fearful, is that their self-preservation instinct, and they're all, I don't want to die, and it's about me, and they got all their fears and anxieties, but it's not about you. It's about the life that's living through you, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about any of us. It's about the life, the process, the mission that's breathing through us, that are going through us. Because we're just vessels. Because I believe, there's a bigger mission out there. A bigger mission that is much greater than any of us. So, to me, I'm not worried too much about when my time is up on this earth. I am not, It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be next year, it could be in 10 years. I'm not worried, because to me, every day is worth living. So, and I think, I don't know when I came to this realization, but it was so liberating, because again, like I said, like as you mentioned, all of us are so worried about, like, oh my gosh, I have to do. I'm like, no, I don't have to. For example, I've had so many conversations with you so far, and how would I put it this way? Because because it was like thing that I shared with you, I passed on knowledge, I planted some seeds. So I could have said, oh, well, I'm going to keep all this knowledge to me, and I'm not sharing them with you or with other younger person out there, whatever. But again, if I die tomorrow and I haven't shared that knowledge, I mean, what would be the purpose? Why would God have given me this knowledge if I don't get to share it? So I realized then it's not up to us to decide how we're going to apply that knowledge, how we're going to share that knowledge. Then the meaning is, as long as we preserve that knowledge, then my life really is meaningless. My physical life is meaningless, because the thing is, I received the knowledge and I passed it on. And then you're gonna continue passing on. So when you do that, you realize your meaning life, your sense of preservation is meaningless, because the thing is, the mission is still being carried out. I'm still passing on what I receive, and you will continue to pass on what you receive, whatever. So in the end, again, like I said, you realize the human body is just uniform. You know what I mean? Because when you die, physically, it's just the body. The spirit is still alive. The spirit goes somewhere else, wherever it goes. I don't know that yet, but I know that it's just the body. So, like I said, I grew up in that kind of mentality, but I realize it's not only it's not necessary, but also it's much greater than me. The physical body is just uniform.
All right, we're almost at the end here, and I think I just want to ask you, what do you think? The world is at an interesting point in history, and I would just ask you, what do you think the world needs?
Oh, that's a $1 billion question, but also it's a 1 cent question. The world needs love. Lots of love. Love, 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 love. That's all we need. Literally, I'm not kidding you. And the love, because love is energy. It's positive energy. Energy, it's sort of like, love is like water.
Yeah.
You see how we cannot function without water. We use water in everything.
Wow.
With cooking, we drink, whatever. The same thing. Love is the same thing. We need love in our daily life. For example, I see you. Hey, Tom, how are you? How are you, brother? That's love. I didn't see you in class last week. I check up on you. How are you? That's love. That's it. I see you, I love you, I care for you. That's love. Because it's not about me. Because I can say, I'm there and I'm gonna. No. Because it's really love for one another. How we take care of each other, how we take care of ourselves. Because again, loving ourselves is really, a big part of the job as well. But really, because again, I realize, we can just. Take the example of a major tragedy that just happened a few days ago in Las Vegas. This guy, a multimillionaire with a girlfriend. So imagine if this guy had enough love in his life. Do you think he would have done something like that? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? So something must not happen. And I'm not downplaying. First of all, I'm sorry, and my prayers goes out to the victims and the families. But also, I'm not downplaying, his illness, whatever they were, his demons, because he had no demons. But again, the same way he needed love to heal him, to prevent him from doing that, the same we're going to need much more love to help us recover from something like that. So you see, even the perpetrator of a mass shooting needs love as much as his own victim. So that's why I said we need love. Without love, we're screwed. That's my final answer.
Wow. Love. All about love.
That's all we need, love. And in all kinds of form, you want to give it, but it's love. Because like I said, love is like water. So water takes shapes of every container you put it in. You can color it, in juice and everything. But, everything that you see around you, you know what I mean? It's water-based, it's have water. So like all action must have some kind of love, because if it doesn't have love, it doesn't have meanings, then we feel isolated, we feel distant from each other, then we start having those negative thoughts, whatever, you know what I mean. But with love, you shatter everything. Love shatters everything, every demons, everything.
We're gonna end there. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
All right, we'll see you next week on Coffee and Consciousness. Goodbye.